Hello! In the last video, I was talking about sequences, both arithmetic and geometric, but I forgot to mention one tiny detail, and that is recursive sequences. So, you know how I said un for an arithmetic sequence is equal to u1 plus n minus 1 times d, and for a geometric sequence, we said un is equal to u1 times r to the power of n minus 1. Well, this is one way of writing these sequences. There's actually, so this is the general way we would write them, but then there's another way called through recursive, or rather a recursive sequence, where instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to start at u1 and I'm going to add n minus 1 times d, what I can actually say is something along the lines of, well, un plus 1, or let's say un is equal to un minus 1 plus d. This is recursive. So a recursive sequence uses the previous term or terms to find the next term. The general term will include the notation un minus 1, which means the previous term. So in this case, right, instead of like starting at 1, I'm going to say, well, look, the next term in my sequence is going to be equal to the previous term in my sequence plus the common difference, specifically for the arithmetic sequence. Now, for the geometric sequence, we could say something similar. We would say that the value of un is equal to the value of the previous term, un minus 1, multiplied by the common ratio r. And so do you see how we have two ways of writing both of these sequences? And really, they're identical. They're identical. The only difference is that here we use the reference point of the first term in the sequence, or rather, we use the first term in the sequence as a reference point, right? And then we multiply or add d however many times we need to get to the term in the sequence of interest. And for the recursive sequence, instead of doing that, we're just going to say, well, look, whatever the previous term in the sequence was, the new term or the next term is going to be the same one plus d, or let's say multiplied by r if it's a geometric sequence. Okay. Enough about sequences. Now let's move on to series. Math can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. Let's clear things up together. You can use the link in the description below to schedule a session with us. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to get notified when we release new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.